Tyson, are you there? There he is. Hey, Tyson, how are you?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, awesome. Thank you for having me.
It is a
Good
pleasure.
to finally get on here.
Yeah, it's a long time coming, so thank you for being patient. Are you in Albuquerque right now?
Yeah, I'm at the performance range right now. I forgot I had this. I was just in the training session. I had the producer call me. So lucky he called me
Okay.
early.
And so do you do most of your camps there these days?
Yeah, when I was in Perth, when I fought in Perth, I stayed home just because the time change would have been ridiculous going over to Albuquerque just to come back. But yeah, I'm doing most of my camps over here.
I thought for a second maybe that they would try to put, it seems like there's a lot of Australians fighting on that card in Chicago. You're fighting a couple of weeks later. Were you hoping to be on the same card as your brother-in-law, Tai Tuivasa?
Yeah, not gonna lie, it would have been good to be on. Yeah, it would have been good to be on that card in Chicago. I wanted to get on there, but Singapore's just as good. It was either Singapore or Chicago. That's the timeline that worked out for me. And at the same time, me and Ty and myself have we're on different paths, but it's the same journey but different paths. So it's good that he's going to get his work done and I'm going to get mine.
Obviously, things started very well for you in the UFC, and then you met Latifi, and then you had to take a step back. But it feels like now you're back in that same position. A big name opponent, a guy who's fought for a belt before. Do you feel like this is your chance to get back on that track that you were on prior to the Latifi fight?
Definitely. Have a really bad connection at the moment, but I'm just going to push through and hopefully I answer your question.
Yes.
Yeah, Latifi was a bit of a hard loss. At the same time, it was a really good opportunity for me. It let me look at everything. I wasn't upset or sad at all. It was, humbling experience and showed that he was a vet and why he's so experienced. It showed my inexperience at the same time. I'd messed up on little, I think, more strategy-wise and technical ability. And, yeah, I learned from it, and I'm training very hard this camp. So I'm excited to see how I go.
Is it fair? Like, did you overlook Latifi? Were you believing the hype too much going into that fight, and all the buzz surrounding you?
Not at all. I don't know. I always believe in my own hype. You got to, I guess. But the Latifi himself, just the game plan that I had in my head. He came in a lot different to fight, and I didn't change to how he fought in that style, and that was what I meant by the inexperience. I thought he was going to come attack more and stand up more and just bulldoze me for the wrestle, and that threw me off a little bit. So, yeah, showed why he's a vet.
How much fun was Perth for you guys? I know Mark ultimately didn't win, but to be on the same card with Mark and Ty in Western Australia, and then you picked up a win, and it was a phenomenal win. It felt like you guys were really being featured on that card. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was like I still get shivers thinking about it. We were fighting on home cards on the AFC at one stage together, and now we're fighting on the biggest stage in the world together. So it's crazy that two kids from Western Sydney are able to do that. So yeah, there's nothing like it. And then especially having Mark, even though he got lost, we still hung out afterwards. And it's Mark. He's going to do what he's going to do, and he's a gangster. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit about nothing. He just keeps coming. He's a war horse.
Now, of course, we saw Ty do the shoey afterwards. Please tell me you did not do a shoey after that fight.
Not until we got to the after party.
So you've actually done this before.
Then multiple shoeys. What's funny is that was actually a clean shoey for Ty. He was actually told by my sister, don't you dare do a dirty shoey. He would have had people spit in it, get it, the worst things in there. Ty doesn't give a shit either.
So you've had a shoey where people have spat in it and done horrible things? You've actually
spit and horrible things, that's me out. I'll do a shoey, but when the spit comes in, to be fair, like I'm guessing there's that much bacteria in there from feet and everything, the spit's not going to make a difference.
But Ty doesn't mind. Right? You've seen him actually do it with
Ty
the
loves
spit.
it. Ty loves it. Ty loves it.
Oh my Lord. That is just horrible. Now, people may not know this, but you've had, this is an amazing story. You actually have MMA in your blood. Your dad was the owner of King of the Cage Australia, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's amazing.
Yes, sir.
And do you feel like he kind of, like, just being around that, he kind of pushed you in, like you had no choice but to go down this path?
Actually, the complete opposite. He never wanted me to fight professionally. When I was going, I got into a selective school, and my dad wanted me to go towards schooling. and the education way. My mom was a school teacher, and they wanted me to go to school. So when I told him that I wanted to fight, he wasn't too happy with it. Copped a little bit of a hiding, but when I'm watching all these athletes coming through, James Sahuna, Tony Bonello, and I was holding the cage door for them for all of those early fights. That's pretty much what I knew what I wanted to do since a young age.
How young were you when you attended your first fight? Do you know?
No, I was young though. I'd be like maybe even 12, 13. I was doing karate and jiu-jitsu with Dad since a young age. Probably 4, I think I started doing Japanese jiu-jitsu and Kempo karate.
Did he or does he still promote fights in Australia?
No. He's living in New Zealand now. He stopped, sort of fell out of the love for MMA game, and then that's when I really took off. And it wasn't until I got in. When I had my first couple pro fights, he was still a little bit iffy on it. But then when I got into the UFC, he was over the moon. And I think it's mainly because when my dad was promoting fights, there was no money in it. It was still a very underground thing. Australia hated MMA when it first came out. So there was all the cage bans. He actually threw a King of the Cage in Perth before they had the cage ban as well.
Oh wow! And is it true that you are actually named after Mike Tyson?
Yeah. Dad named me after Mike Tyson because when I was born, I'd cry, and I just had this angry look on my face.
Wow, that is unbelievable. Have you ever met Mike Tyson?
No, I haven't, but I'd love to.
Okay.
He's a big hero of mine. Yeah.
So you have no problems with being named after Iron Mike?
I love it. Everyone,
wow.
That's the first thing everyone says. They just go, "Oh man, Mike Tyson, you're a boxer." And I go, "No, but I'm an MMA fighter." If I could even half live up to the reputation that he has as a fighter,
sure,
I'm doing all right.
Did you ever consider boxing as opposed to MMA because of your namesake?
Yeah, I was not because of the name, but I actually wanted to go to the Olympics for amateur boxing. So I was amateur boxing out of Blacktown Hit Squad when I was 16, and that's when I told Dad that I wanted to continue fighting. So Australia amateur boxing isn't as there's not as many opponents and things like that. It's a lot smaller. I think I had like 7 fights, and then I realized that how much I loved MMA and jiu-jitsu, and I wanted to get back into that.
And from what I understand, this may not have happened for you. You severely injured your ankle. You broke your ankle, right? Before any of this started?
Yeah. No, I had one pro fight. I had one amateur fight, then my first pro fight, and then I snapped my ankle playing rugby.
Oh.
So,
just for fun, or were you playing in a league?
I was supposed to have a fight. No, I wasn't elite, but I was just playing in a local team. And I had 2 guys on my back, and one came under and grass cut me, and I fully dislocated my ankle and shattered my fibula, the outside little bone. So I had, and then I had 3 failed surgeries. So I was out for like probably 12 months, 18 months. Completely lost. My leg went skinny, all the whole deal. So I was out for a long time. Didn't get back into MMA for a while, and then that's when I got back into integrated MMA with Dan Higgins and Adrian Pang, where Kyle Noak started as well. So, and then the rest is history.
Did they tell you that it was unlikely that you would fight again?
They just said I'll never have the same movement again. So it's still restricted at the front. I think it's called dorsiflexion, so I can't lift my foot all the way up. But it doesn't stop me. I still had a lot of injuries because of it, like back pulled and quad, calf. I can't go up fully on my calf, but push through.
Wow, that is unbelievable. So you still feel the effects every single day from that?
Yeah. I have to warm up my ankle longer, but it's not bad. It's just like I'll get arthritis when I'm older. There's less movement in it, so you work with what you got.
And your sister is married to Tai Tuivasa. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, they've got a baby too. Yeah,
amazing. When you first met that man, what did you think? What did you think of this big guy, Tai Tuivasa, when you first met him?
Scumbag. We're actually close family. We've known each other since we were kids. So my dad and his dad have known each other for a long time. They used to know each other from pretty much when we were born. So it's been a long time. And then just 2 kids out of Western Sydney. Out of all the guys that my sister could have picked, she picks Ty.
That's amazing. And were you like him? Like he told us when he was on the show a couple weeks ago that he used to look up to Mark Hunt, and now it's kind of crazy for him to be training and being alongside him. Is that the same for you?
It's 100%. Mark and then just as crazy, like now I'm staying at the ranch in Albuquerque at Cowboys Ranch and the Performance Ranch. And sometimes you just take a step back and look where martial arts has brought you and go, holy crap, like these are guys that I used to watch fight, especially Mark in Asia. Now I'm getting to fight in Singapore. Like this, it's all like, it's all surreal. But at the same time, you just always believed it and knew where we were going to. I used to send to Ty on MSN, like, can't wait till we're in the UFC and we're fighting together when we were little kids. And now look where we are. We did it.
Why do you choose Albuquerque and not somewhere closer to home?
It was always a dream. Jackson Wink was always like, just as a kid, I always wanted to go train at Jackson Wink, especially when Jackson Wink was the big name. John Jones, looking up to everyone, going, man, that's where I want to train. So then I went to Integrated MMA, who Dan Higgins was first black belt under Greg Jackson, and that's where it fueled the fire even more. And then I was like, I got to go over.
I know I've asked you about this in a scrum, but if someone may not have seen it, one of my favorite things about you is the hat that you wear during your walkout.
Yeah.
For those that don't know the significance behind it, could you tell us?
Yeah, my cousin who was killed in Afghanistan, his mum sent me his boonie cap, and that's the hat that I wear out. A lot of people say that it's a fisherman's hat, but yeah, that was his hat. She sent him to me and my dad, and I walk out to every fight with it.
And were
that's
you
actually who's the tattoos?
Oh wow, that's him.
Yeah, tattoo and on my arm, going around.
What was his name?
Brian.
And were you close with him?
Yeah, my sister's closer with him. I wasn't as close, but I'm closer with my aunt now. But my dad's really close with him. He was like my dad's other son. So that's I think it was more that it hurt my dad so much losing him that like I felt that like how much that hurt him, and that was a hard time when we.
What is it like when you put that on right before you're about to walk out to a fight?
It's still pretty surreal. Like I don't know. You just feel like you're doing something for a better purpose, I guess, or a bigger purpose. Like I still like that hat goes everywhere with me.
Do you only wear it during your walkouts, or do you wear it during your day-to-day life?
A couple of times I'll wear it out, like depending on what I did. I've worn it to Japan when I went to a jiu-jitsu comp, and there's could been a couple of times I've worn it, but not just walking around the street.
And UFC gave you no resistance for that, right? You asked them and they said yes?
No, I had to ask them, and I asked them, and then as long as they said no brand names, I think he's got his parachute pin on it. They had to just clear that as well, and then that was it.
Wow. That's amazing. Well done on still honoring your cousin. That's a really nice gesture. And you're also in the podcast game too, the Halfcast podcast.
Yeah.
You enjoying this?
Yeah.
Ty said it's all your fault for getting into it.
No, yeah, it's been awesome though. It's hard now, maybe in Albuquerque, and I think Ty just got to Thailand, so that's we're not going to be having any. But I think I'm finishing my camp in Thailand with Cowboy, so he's obviously on Singapore as a main event as well. So probably see him over there, get a couple more episodes in. It's hard, man. It's two islanders figuring it out. We don't have producers or anything. We just went and got some mics and hope for the best. So.
No, it's impressive. You've gotten some big names as well. You got the champ on there, Robert Whitaker, recently. So I like to see you guys do it. I think you have a good dynamic.
Yeah,
almost like your family.
Yeah, exactly.
Tyson, great to have you on the show. I wish you the best. It's been really fun watching you, and your last performance was phenomenal. So congrats on that. Good luck on June 23rd against Ovince Saint Preux in Singapore.